Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Apex Investor. This is the weekly update. I haven't done an update in a week, so it's time to catch up and see what is going on. Let's expand this window. In order to see the 52-week range, I want to see which stocks have hit a new all-time low. Or not all-time low, but at least 52-week low at the minimum. Ride is one to watch. Let's take a look at that. This one's high. That one is low. It's SDC. That's one of the Wall Street Bet's favorite stocks. IRNT is down. It's one of the darlings of this channel. It's closer to the 52-week low as well. Arrival. Okay, we're looking for ones that are really down. 80 is really suffering. Unfortunately, that one is suffering. Metamaterials as well as suffering. That's the number one of this channel. IDRA, ATNX. A lot of biotech stocks are suffering that are not related to the jab. SLGG is really taking a hit. Let's take a look at that. See what is going on there. Is that a buy? Is that support? HYLN is getting just shellacked as well. It seems like everything is down. I've never seen that. This looks like the beginnings of a stock market crash, in my opinion. But a lot of stocks are just taking a big hit. Okay, Palantir is not doing so. Is there any stock that's doing well? Like, besides Tesla, it seems everything is doing very poorly. Socket, they're all closer to their 52-week low. I'm not sure if that's just because of the new fiscal year. Is that why? But then again, we wouldn't have such a disparity in such a short period of time. SOS, it's really taking a hit. We're going to look at a lot of stocks today. This is going to be a very long video, unfortunately. Or fortunately, if you like listening to me talk. So, Canon. Okay, Canon's actually not doing too poorly comparatively if you look at the other stocks. Bitcoin, I want to look at that, see what's going on there. It seems to be a roller coaster ride as usual. Good and bad, depending on whether you're bullish or bearish. Overall, Bitcoin is up though, I have to say. Yeah, it's right in the middle. It's one of the most secure investments you can make. Clover, we're looking at that as well. I opened that in preparation for this video. Mavis is down. I really don't know what to tell you. Just a lot of stocks are taking a big hit. There is good news, however, or bad news, depending on your perspective. And that news is this. Fintel, Ortex, all that information that people get regarding utilization and days to short and all that mumbo jumbo, it's a bunch of BS. Trey, pretty much, on Trey's trades, he confirmed this. That was my suspicion, that it was BS, and he just confirmed it. You know, it's being relayed to us through third-party sources, specifically human beings, not like an automated thing, and it is subject to a lot of human error and as well as manipulation. I don't think they're giving the retail investors the correct data to go on in order to make the best decisions. So I guess we're opening with metamaterials because that's the first one that opened up here. We can see December 31st. Does that make sense? Okay, I think that does make sense. The days range on the 31st, I believe that was a Friday, was 244 to 264. And the volume isn't too bad. Let's look at the last week, since I have been out of doing updates for the last week. Yeah, it's actually to the lower side. We're at support levels here. And the high of the week was around 276. So this is going to recover this coming year. We're going to see this recover. I'm pretty much sure of that. There's no guarantees, but it's almost a guarantee this is going to recover as a result of the dividend and everything being finalized. So that's metamaterials. Yeah, it is down 6.82% in that on the last day of Friday. And I just want to make a confession. I took a hiatus this week because the brokerage I deal with decided to take the week off, and I was very disappointed, to say the least, because I wanted to buy some MMTLP. And my assumption was MMTLP will be removed from the market. Well, it isn't, so I still have a chance to buy that. IRNT is selling at this very meme number, 420. It was trading between 408 to 443. Yes, it is closer to 388, the 52-week low. So this could be a very good buy for you if you are bullish on this, as I am. Yeah, the week's low was 391. So if you can get this $4 or below, this is a really good stock. You'll see that in this coming year. The chart doesn't look like it right now, but doesn't look like it's so great, but you'll see that this will recover in time. Give it some time. So that's IRNT for you. And this is MMTLP coming up next. So MMTLP was 145 to 156. So pretty healthy. It's not too high. It's not unaffordable. It's still within a reasonable range for you to buy whatever amount you'd like. If you want to pick up 1,000, that's only going to cost you what, 1,500 to get 1,000 of those. If this goes up to 20, 40, that's equal to 20,000, 40,000. So you're going to make a lot of money with this potentially. And the last week, let's just look at the last week to see what I missed out on. Okay, it was actually at 120, so it did recover substantially towards the end of the week. So this was a really good pickup at 120. It still is a good pickup. This is going to be a very good dividend, and we're not sure when it's going to be removed, but it could be any time in this month, most likely this month, but we'll see. So I'm kind of happy now that it's still available to buy, and as soon as tomorrow morning, we'll see that being offered there on the OTC market. AMC, I want to take a look at this. $27 to $29. So it looks like AMC is on a downward trajectory with all the lockdowns going on. In Canada, for instance, we're going through lockdowns here in Canada. In America, I'm not sure how much lockdowns are going on there, but maybe doesn't matter to you. Maybe AMC is doing mightily fine, but in Canada we're pretty much on a lockdown. So, but in the last week, yeah, this is closer to the low of the week, and you can see the month. Okay, let me give you that view there. Okay, so you can see, I want to show off my brand new logo that's animated. Every day there's going to be a different animation, or every video henceforth there will be a new animation, so look forward to that. I'm excited just to see what the new animation will be. Yeah, so $22 is looking like support in the short term. In my professional opinion, however, I'm not a professional, but in my personal opinion, I truly believe this is going to go probably right down to $10. Might go down to 10. So your best bet, buy this at 10, at the most maybe 16. But yeah, I'd wait for this to drop down. I think AMC's on its way down because of the lockdowns. GameStop is pretty healthy. $48, $148 here. So it is stabilizing. And I've got some ambiance, some high-tech sound effects in the background there to complement the visual aesthetics. Okay, so 148 to 156 was the day's range on Friday. I'm going to close this now. There's pretty much nothing else to say about this. But 100 to 140, that's your support. And if you're going to go extreme, which is probably the best strategy, I'd buy that at 40 to 60. Just wait for it to crash. We're going to have to be very extreme in the coming days and months coming up, especially in the event of a stock market crash. You don't want to take your chances. I've lost a lot of money, unfortunately, and Apex Investor, it's just a name. Not that I am the Apex Investor. Maybe someday I will be. Right now, pretty much an amateur, just to be honest. I wish things were not this way, but you learn by failing, I guess, by falling flat in your face, and that's kind of what is happening right now. Compared to where I was a year ago, my portfolio was a lot higher, although today I'm a lot more knowledgeable. So would you rather be more knowledgeable or rich? Or would you rather be poor and more knowledgeable? Or what would you rather have? I don't know. I think I'd rather have more money, but then again, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose that money really quickly. So maybe it is better to have more knowledge. So Clover, over the last week, we can see here 368 to 391 on the Friday. And yeah, it is closer to the low. But not to fear, this is going to recover as well. Sound like a broken record, I understand, but I have full faith in these three stocks: metamaterials, Clover, and IRNT, but especially metamaterials. All right, so yeah, that's all for Clover. A really good stock. It's gonna rebound eventually. Bitcoin coming up next. I have Bitcoin open twice for some reason. Okay, so Bitcoin, 52-week range, 28,000 to 68,000. So this is right in the middle there. Support is 28,000, and resistance looks clearly at 60 to 70,000 range, but there is no ceiling for Bitcoin. I definitely see this going to 100,000 in the next 5 to 10 years, maybe even before that, maybe even a million. So we can see, yeah, this is rallied from 45,000. Okay, yeah, this is Bitcoin is super strong. It is Bitcoin after all. Okay, let's look at the last 6 months here. Yeah, you're pretty good getting this at 30,000. Okay. Oh, we have an actual alarm going on in the background. Okay. Just give me a moment to turn that off. That was not ambiance. That was an actual alarm. And we're not going to pause the video. We're just going to keep going through. Just let's get this video done. Okay. Ride, aka Lordstown Motors, was 342 to 371 on the Friday. And during the week, yeah, it is closer to the low. This is a bad time to invest in stocks. I'm not going to lie to you people. Probably don't invest in stocks right now. Wait for the market to crash. It seems like it's on the way down. Although the market tends to go down towards the new year. That's just life. That's what happens. It's not unusual. It's actually normal. So nothing to get too bogged down about. This is a normal course of life. This is like when the rivers dry up because it's summer, and then, you know, eventually the rivers come back and life comes back to the Nile River, for instance. So it's like that. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. Will this ride up again? I don't know. I'm really skeptical about Ride. I wouldn't buy that, to be honest. Super League Gaming, 233 to 254, and it's closer to the 52-week low. This is probably a good pickup right now. This looks like support to me. I could be wrong, but this is almost a sure bet to go back up. if you look at the range again, $2.25 to $11, and this is at $2.36. So if this goes up to even $5, you could double your investment, your portfolio, or your investment, because you don't want to put everything in one basket. So that's not a smart play. Let's just wait for this chart to load. I want to take a look to see where is support for this. This looks like support anyhow. Okay, well, it's taking too long, so I'm going to close it. So I think that is support. HYLN is $5.57 to $22, and this traded $6 to $6.45 essentially. Yeah, this is I'm pretty bullish, or not bullish, bearish. I'm bearish for HYLN, so yeah, don't buy that one, people. KODK is a really good stock, and this is a really good price. This is gonna come back up, like out of nowhere. This will come right back up. Exxon in danger of being the next blockbuster in KODK? What? I don't know about that. Why would Exxon go down if oil is going up? Doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, KODK is a really good stock. It may not seem like it at the moment, but yeah, this was a good pickup right here at the 461 level. Even right now, it is a good buy. If you look at the last 6 months, this is pretty regularly above $6. And resistance is pretty much double digits, like $9 to $10. Pretty safe bet for you. This has not been at this level in a long time, since early 2020. So this is a good buy actually at this price. Maybe wait for $2, $3, but no, this is a good buy. I can see this going right back up. Historically, this chart is pretty strong. From 2020, pretty much from July 2020 to November of 2021. So almost a solid 2 years, this was above $4. So you could do a lot worse than buy KODK at this price. This could be, I'm going to make this as a Apex Investor approved trade at this price. Yeah, if you can pick this up at $2, you'd do yourself a really good favor. Even buying this now at $4 is a really good buy. I might actually buy this myself. So mark that down. Apex Investor approved trade right now for KODK. Sell this at $10. Yeah, it's going to hit $10 again, probably in the next year or two. So you can double your investment within the year. On KODK, SOS, 81 cents. Oh, okay, this is really taking a dive. This is really taking a hit. Ouch. Man, you know things are bad when metamaterials, Clover, and IRNT people are saying ouch. It's really taking a hit. Ouch. Like this, I've never seen it this low. This might be an all-time low. This might go bankrupt. I don't know what's going on here. You've got the parade of law firms. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Is it just a parade? It's just fear. It's FUD. It's a lot of FUD here. So I don't know if they're going bankrupt or not, but it's not looking so good because they are below $1 and they might be delisted off the NASDAQ if this continues. Yeah, they might be delisted, to be honest. This is not biting really well. It's not looking so good for SOS. Okay, I'm going to pause. We'll go over to Wall Street Bets coming up next. Actually, Twitter. Welcome back. We are at George's Twitter. He tweeted on the 27th, I heard that are so many, I think he means there. I heard there are so many roaches in New York City that when they approach a roach motel, they get turned away. All I know is that there's no better place for a New Year celebration. So looks like that's where he went for New Year's. the DeLorean time machine to fuel an onboard nuclear reactor, which could generate the 1.21 gigawatts of momentary power for about 1,697 Tesla Megapack batteries required for temporal displacement of the vehicle while traveling at 88 miles per hour. Okay, I'm not sure what that's just memeing. A wreath with an ancient Greek inscription: health, life, joy, peace, good cheer, and hope. Okay, and the most recent tweet just today. In case you missed it, check out the video on Meta's YouTube channel from AWE 2021, where our CTO Jonathan Waldron talked about integrating application-specific functional films into AR prescription lenses. So they did present today regarding that. Okay, so that's all for the Twitter. We're going to go to Wall Street Bets coming up next. Okay, welcome back to Apex Investor. We are skipping over Wall Street Bets. There's really not much to report from there. We are at the metamaterial subreddit. Just a couple items, some items I want to talk about. First of all, the Fintel data, the Ortex data, whatever you want to call it, all the numbers that are provided to us by various institutions and individuals who actually pay subscriptions to similar services. Well, you've been duped, and I'm so glad I didn't spend or waste a cent on any of those, because now that we don't have to rely on those numbers at all, I really do believe they are BS, just like Trey from Trey's Trades has presented today. That frees up our attention to focus only on the charts. Well, not only on them, but primarily on the charts, to do technical analysis, to look at the fundamental analysis, looking at actual news catalysts, study, companies, how company works, what they actually do, and things of that nature. So that is a good thing. And in regards to my portfolio, I don't like talking about that too much, but I'm going to mention it because a lot of people have brought it up on the subreddit. There's so much loss porn being posted on the metamaterial subreddit, and when I entered when I became an investor of metamaterials, I think I had $20,000 US. That's how much I was worth, and now I am below 10,000. And I'm not going to blame metamaterials because this isn't over yet. This is not over. We're only getting started, and yeah, it sounds kind of sadistic. We're only getting started. We've lost so much. No. The war is not over. We might look like we're defeated, but we know this company knows what they're doing. We do have faith in their products. We know that the various industries that they're in are very promising. This is one of the most promising companies in the stock market. And shorts, you can short it if you like, but they shorted Tesla and look where it is now. So give it some time. We'll wait this out. We can stay retarded longer than they can stay solvent, as Wall Street Bets so eloquently put it. So the first post here says 2 questions. First, if the shorts have to pay the cash dividend, if we got one, who would they be paying? Us? The broker who lent the shares? I found this pic on Google. If the brokerage lent our shares, shouldn't we get the money, doubling our dividend? Second question in the comments. Okay. If the investor is short a stock on the record date, they are not entitled to the dividend. In fact, the investor is instead responsible for paying the dividend owed to the lender of the short stock that they borrowed. Okay. So here's the answer. I read somewhere but cannot find it now, or anything covering the topic. But if someone shorts a stock that splits, does the shorter become short in both stocks, the parent and the split stock, then having to buy both stocks back to close said position? I swear I read this somewhere and was telling someone about it. And then I went to finding the thing I read and it's gone. I swear I'm not not crazy. Does anyone else know about this rule? Depends on the split, but the vast majority of the time the short will have to owe stock, but they always cover. That's why the price normally increases as the split date approaches. Pull this from Cora. The reason the short seller must pay the dividend on a stock that is sold short is because a short seller must borrow those shares from a bona fide long holder. Okay, good answer. In borrowing those shares and selling them to someone else, that new buyer receives the dividend on the shares that would go to the original owner. The way the clearing system works, if there exists a naked short position, so basically a stock that doesn't exist, fabricated stocks, the short seller in the uncovered short still owes the dividend to the end buyer. So the actual dividends are paid on certain securities, or I should say dividends paid on stocks can exceed the amount the public company pays. If the short seller did not cover the dividend, the long holder would be an owner, but not receive the dividend on his shares, which in the case of high yield securities can be the primary reason he purchases them. Good find. So essentially the payout could be twice as big, just because shorting would double the payout or more if naked. Exactly. Here's a hypothetical example, although I'm not 100% sure. This is how it works. Let's assume 165 million shares of metamaterials, I'm going to insert that there, are eligible as mentioned by George. Let's just say 30 million metamaterials shares are shorted. Let's just assume the dividend is $10. That's a very low price for simplicity's sake. That gives us a total payout of 1.65 billion. If those 30 million short stocks were paid by hedge funds, we take 1.65 billion and divide by 135 million shares eligible to be paid out by the company. It makes the dividend actually $12.20. I'm not sure if this is how it works, but it makes sense in my head. Now, if you add naked synthetic shorts, this could grow exponentially like you mentioned. Okay, don't forget in the case of Torchlight shorts trap, they also have 2 shares of Meta with their 1 share of Torch. True. So what I was saying is they would have that in the new spin-off company share to buy as well. Hypothetically, we get a 1-for-1 stock with the split. They end up being short 1-for-1 in both stocks, having to buy both 2 close, so 2 Meta, 2 spin-off shares. Actually, you know what? From these comments, I'm getting the feeling, my instinct is saying metamaterials is going to explode. It's going to take a lot of people by surprise. No one is seeing this coming except for me and maybe you people who believe in Meta. Keith Cole's Texas Oil Company revealed 4.908x opportunity. Okay, I'm not sure what he's talking about. Let's see what the comments say. The article is a year old and mentions Torchlight. Interesting to say the least. Scroll down to the bottom and it mentions Torchlight could be worth 50 billion. Wow, that's an awesome article. Good find. Think everything the price of oil has doubled since then. This should also put a better idea on the dividend if we get a cash one, since we know a bit more about the cost to extract, right? This would be huge. Okay, let's open this up. So he's saying this is a great opportunity. Let me just open that up. Let that load in the meantime. Okay, it's not even opening. All right, let me just put a pause on this video, on this recording. Okay, welcome back. It says here from greenbullresearch.com, Keith Cole's Texas Oil Company revealed 4,908 times opportunity. This was on September the 13th, 2020. So about almost 2 years ago now, or a year and a half. Earlier this year, the effects of the pandemic, along with a price war between Saudi and Russia, caused oil prices to go negative for the first time in history. This understandably shook markets, but this also created an opportunity to make 4,908 times return on our money, or more. we're told that we are about to learn about a reclusive millionaire that just invested $3 million into a tiny Texas oil company that could quickly grow into a $3 billion fortune. If that isn't enough to get you out of your seat, apparently there is a secret anomaly which will allow us to buy crude oil for pennies in the dollar even after the price moves up to over $40 per barrel. And actually, we're pretty much double that right now. Pretty wild stuff. We have covered energy related pitches in the past. Okay, this looks like it's a long article. I might spend an hour here, so I'm going to just scroll all the way down to the bottom as they said. Okay, here it says, the company received a letter from the NASDAQ granting a 180-day, okay, Torchlight. So it's talking about Torchlight now. All right, let's see. So the driller's name is revealed. Permian Basin. Given the fair amount of info we had to work with, we believe the company in question is none other than Torchlight Energy. It's a pretty close match. Torchlight's shares were 40 cents earlier this year, and they have 100,000 acres. Execs and board members do collectively own 30% of outstanding shares. They're an exploratory driller and developer of oil and natural gas properties in the U.S. The outside expert mentioned earlier is apparently Mike Mullen, who has 44 years of oil field wire line logging and formation evaluation experience, operates his own consultancy doing formation evaluations. That said, the finding Mike backed up was simply one optimistic estimate which were provided to Torchlight, so too much credence should not be given to this estimate in and of itself. Will this all or nothing Oro Grande strategy be Torchlight or buy Torchlight pay off in the end? So is it a buy or a bust? From all the publicly available info we were able to gather, the company is currently embattled on multiple fronts. First, they face a falling share price as crude oil is still getting crushed on demand fears, and that's pretty much does not apply right now, which in turn makes it more difficult to turn to public markets to raise capital. So this is no longer applicable. In fact, the company recently received a letter from the NASDAQ granting it a 180-day extension. Well, this doesn't apply anymore because Metamaterials bought them up. Secondly, and the oil prices also doubled from $40. It has long been maintained by energy analysts that any crude oil price below 40 would trigger a wave of brutal cost cutting, with many not being able to survive the fallout. WTI crude prices have been well below $40 for most of the year. Thirdly, if a cratering share price and drastic drop in the price of crude oil were not enough, the price of producing crude oil, actually extracting it out of the ground in the Permian Basin, is believed to be $36 to $40 per barrel, or about what the current price is as we write this. Well, we know it's around $70, $80 right now. This means that Torchlight would be losing money for the foreseeable future. Again, no longer applicable. While we can appreciate the excitement and long-term potential of a small-time wildcatter with a credible exploration claim, the current confluence of events is too much for us, and indeed maybe even for Torchlight to survive, unless things take a drastic turn for the better, and that's exactly what happened. We just don't see the justification for piling into a small money-losing shale oil driller at this time. Recap and conclusion. We were teased a tiny Texas oil driller which has made the most exciting U.S. oil discovery in a decade or more. Wow. In order to find out the name of this company with a large claim in the Permian Basin oil field, we would have to shell out $1,499 per year to subscribe to the Pure Energy Trader investment newsletter. We revealed the name of the company as Torchlight Energy. We expressed the opportunity as a long shot if there ever was one, given the confluence of negative factors affecting Torchlight. What are your thoughts? So yeah, this is great. I'm happy they posted that. Thank you to whoever posted this on metamaterials. Okay, let's just go to the bottom here. I guess that's the end of the... No, there's more. Okay, so I think that's it for that post. We have 3 more to go, and we'll close this video up. So there's a video from the AWE presentation that took place today by Dr. Rajeev Pata. I'll just read some comments here. Pretty awesome video. Okay, can we sum it up? Do we have a summary? I guess not. Okay. No one wanted to summarize it. Okay. This next post, electromagnetic and holographic films, fragmented reality applications, which kind of relates to the presentation that took place today. Great video for anyone interested in what metamaterials is up to and where it's going. Thanks for the post, OP. So basically, these presentations are very forward thinking and getting into the practical applications of AR. And if this does take off, this is going to be a big cash cow for metamaterials. So this is the last post. This is from, I was going to do a video on this last week, but I'm going to cover this now. It says, shout out Ben Wheezy 101. Okay. So this got a lot of attention. It says here that this lady, the best trader of all time, had her husband buy metamaterials. You know what that means. This stock's going to explode. Well, not exactly. If you actually do a little research, it's not her husband himself. It's the company that he's invested in called Alliance Bernstein, or Benstein. Or is it Bernstein? Anyway, they did invest in metamaterials, but it wasn't him per se. It was the company that he's invested in, that is invested into metamaterials. So it's kind of this person knows that person. It's not exactly directly her, but that's still a good sign. It's still a good sign. So I think we're going to end it there. This video kind of started out on a downer, but we ended on a high note, which is where we want to end up. This is a new fiscal year. I do believe things are going to turn around for the better. We have the dividend to look forward to. Once MMTLP is removed from being traded, that'll be one of the first signs that we're going to see a big turnaround. And then once the dividend is actually given out, once it's distributed to retail investors, specifically the owners of the MMTLP preferred shares, that could take place anytime between now, pretty much tomorrow, and as late as, I'm going to say June. I'm going to say June is probably the latest that they'll fulfill that. But between now and then, the next 6 months, we're going to see metamaterials rise up like a phoenix. We're going to see it probably head to double digits in that span of time in the next 6 to 12 months. And by this time next year, January 2023, all this nonsense and shorting, not that it'll be behind us, but it's going to be under control. It's not going to be shorted to this degree because they're going to realize they messed with the wrong company. This is not a company you want to be shorting, especially with all the connections they have with the U.S. federal government, Department of Energy, Department of Defense, and so on. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you very much for your time. Please give this video a like if you want more content like this. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers to get monetized, can afford better equipment, specifically a better laptop. This laptop is a bit slow, as you can see, and just to give me more incentive to do daily videos. I have not done daily videos in quite a while. Again, as I said at the opening of this video, it's because of what happened with my brokerage really taking the wind out of my sails. I thought, I was looking forward to the Monday, this past Monday, where I could buy the MMTLP. I wanted to just go all out, and I couldn't do that because my brokerage decided to take the week off. There's nothing I could do about that, but nonetheless, it did affect me emotionally that I want to invest, but I can't because my hands have been tied behind my back. But trading should resume for my brokerage on Monday, basically tomorrow. So I'm looking to buy MMTLP ASAP and get on board in a bigger way, because right now I only have a handful of MMTLP. I want to get as many as they can get, and we're going to see the ship be righted. Not that George is doing a bad job, it's just all these external factors that are just not under his control, because you have shorting, you have all these all this red tape with the dividend, you have all these things behind the scenes that we know nothing about. But once those are sorted out, we're going to see the ship turn around in a big way, and we won't have to keep saying the same old and just say, give it time, 6 months, 12 months, just hold on, bag holding. But Meta, again, so promising, and every company has potential, but this one really stands out among pretty much the whole stock market. Besides Tesla, I don't know a company like Meta Materials that has such great potential. Really, if there is one, mention in the comments, because I don't know about them. Nintendo's another good company, but they're pretty much stuck in video games. Meta Materials are all over the place. They can be in the automotive sector, the semiconductor sector, healthcare sector, military, aerospace, like you name it. They're pretty much, they can get into it. You have the printing of money, like with nanotech. That is a huge thing all on its own. So not going to continue rambling. I'm just going to say thank you very much for your support. May God bless you all, and God bless your investments. Till next time. Okay, forgot how to stop the video. Hopefully it stopped. Oh, we're still recording.